Okay, good evening, y'all. I'm wondering how many of you ever tried the online dating apps? I got to tell you, they don't work. I set up a coffee date and walked in at the appointed time with a long-stemmed rose tucked into a book of poetry, and there was a lovely woman sitting at the table over there with a long-stemmed rose tucked into a book of poetry, and I walked up and said, "Hi, are you Emily?" And she said, "Well, that depends. Are you DJ?" And I said, "I'm DJ." And she said, "In that case, no, I'm not Emily." And she picked up her stuff and proceeded out the door. Now I'm a guy, so I've got to have the last word in any situation. So as she's walking out the door, I said, "Hey, I've got a reason for every star that shines in the night sky. Why you should love me and no one else. But it's just no good deceiving, and it always leaves me grieving when I sit around and I try to fool myself. I've got all the answers if you'd only ask some questions. There's so much that I'd like you to know. But I'm up all night alone in bed with conversations in my head. I'd get away, but I've no place to go. And there's times I'd like to scream about it. Mostly I just dream about it. I'm sure that I should cut it out, and I'm just as sure I won't. 'Cause you really ought to love me. Oh, you really ought to love me. Oh, you really ought to love me. Oh, but you don't. I've got sweet solutions for every situation. Problem is that you're just not around. And lately you're avoiding me. It's plain for all the world to see. I swear to God I've never been so down. And there's times I'd like to scream about it. Mostly I just dream about it. I'm sure that I should cut it out, and I'm just as sure I won't. Really ought to love me. Oh, you really ought to love me. Oh, you really ought to love me. Oh, but you don't. I've got songs to sing you, I've got melodies to bring you, I got rhymes and rhythms no one's ever dreamed. But what's the use to sing a song if you're not there to sing along? I guess the music that I heard was just not what it seemed. 'Cause you really ought to love me. Oh, take my hand and love me. Do you understand the things I'm trying to say and what I mean? There's times I'd like to scream about it. Mostly I just dream about it. I'm sure that I should cut it out, and I'm just as sure I won't. Really ought to love me. Oh, you really ought to love me. Oh, you really ought to love me, but you don't. You really ought to love me. Oh, you really ought to love me. Oh, you really ought to love me, but you don't. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm DJ the Troubadour. It's my first time here, and this is a wonderful place. And I'll tell you what, I'm a bit of a narcissist, and I've got delusions of grandeur. And so any place that has a microphone that I can sit down in front of, I'm feeling pretty good. You know, it's just wonderful, and it's such a wonderful feeling that that I wrote a song about it. And I'm going to say that this is in the style of Jackson Browne because when I was writing it, in my head, he's the one that I heard singing it. And plus, I stole some lyrics from him that I tagged on to the end of the song. But truth be told, Mr. Browne stole those same lyrics from Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs way back in 1962. So here we go. This one's inspired by what we're doing here tonight, and it's in the style of Jackson Browne, and this one's called The Microphone. Well, I'm sitting over here in the corner of the room, waiting for my turn to play. Been here before, but I always want more. I've been thinking about the night all day. I got original songs that I'll be singing if my voice can make it to the crowd, and a handful of covers all written by others if the room is just too loud. There's John, Doug, and Dave setting up the stage, and Darren out at Oddfellows Hall. They'll jack you in and tighten up your sound, and they'll catch you when you fall. Well, I always try to get here kind of early to get a good position in the show. Not a number so high I get left behind, or a number that is way too low. And there's people filing in ones and twos, glancing all around the place to find some place near to safely stash their gear, or maybe a familiar face. Here's a tip of the hat to the management staff who give us all a place to play. And here's to Gus, who maybe most of us owe a debt we never can repay. So I'm sitting over here in the corner of the room. They're about to call my name. If I could just stay calm, I'll remember the songs and to thank all of you people that came. And here it is, my time has come. The stage is there awaiting for me. Behind the microphone is like a second home, and it's a place I love to be. So now I'll pack up my gear and get on out of here, headed for the next place I'll play. But with the songs of the night ringing in my ears, there's something more I've just got to say. I want to stay just a little bit longer. I want to play just a little bit more. So if John don't mind, and if they ain't too long a line, I like to take a little time just to leave it all behind. Say one more time, I'd like to stay just a little bit longer. I want to play just a little bit more. Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience. This is a great place to be.